She is an alumna of the School of Engineering from KNUST with a BSc in Chemical Engineering, and she has also an MBA in Marketing from the University of Leicester in UK, and also a graduate at Harvard Business School who studied business analytics programs. She loves to tell stories with data. So this session is actually something that you should be paying for, but we've brought it to you because of the love that these guest speakers have. And so do make notes, because if you have to pay for this, you would actually be paying in dollars. But both Phyllis and Geraldine are here to give you these nuggets to get you started, to be able to power up your business, power up your team, and hit the milestones that you've set for 2021 and the years ahead. And so without much ado, everyone, let's give some thumbs up, inviting Phyllis and Geraldine on the show.
Thank you, thank you, Prince. Thank you so much. And just to emphasize this point, you know, Geraldine is like the engine Konnekt. You know, she holds the whole thing running. So this is a great team here. Without her, this party is not gonna work. And so thank you for having us. And as we all know, the fuel for every organization, any institution, or any setup is the people. The people. Without the people aspect, nothing works. And so I'm very happy that Ose is trying to support its users and community by bringing in people like us to share what we have, for them to be able to have the skill, the required skill and knowledge to hire the right people and to keep them. So I'm going to zoom into Geraldine and have her serve what she has for us. I can't wait. Geraldine, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. Thank you to, you didn't mention your name, so I don't know your name, but I know you're the team leader of Team Ose. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Prince, and I lead the customer success team.
Okay.
So my boss, the co-founder and COO in a person of Dave Emnett, is also on the session as well. Yeah. So yeah.
Hey. Okay, so thank you for having us. And I believe in one thing, collaboration. You have a ton of knowledge and a ton of experience in your business management, and you know your business better than anyone. There can be no consultant who can come to your office and say, hey, do it like this, do this, do that. In my company, when consultants come, they talk to us, and then they go back and then they rewrite what we told them in a different way. So I believe in collaboration with the business teams. So thank you for being here, and thank you for coming to share your knowledge with us. So it's going to be a collaborative thing. And I believe in participatory training. That means that most of the time, we're going to throw a question out, we will discuss it, let's know what your experience is, and let's come to a consensus that this is the right thing. There is no one hat fits all for anything. I've been in business management for maybe 30 years. I used to be a product manager with Nestle Ghana, and I have worked with a lot of Makola business people with a lot of money, helped them to turn stuff around. So I know what you do, and I believe in it, and I know that you are the specialist. So I'm not telling you what is the right thing. We are going to tell ourselves what is the right thing, okay? If that works, all right. So I will share my screen, and I'm going to make it very simple, straightforward, because a lot of presentations, when you're done, they go back home, they drink they drink tea, and everybody forgets. So we're going to make it very real for everyone. Okay, so I'll share my screen if that is okay.
Yes, let's go.
Okay, I got it now.
Okay, good.
Let me know if you can see my screen, okay?
Yep, it's loading now. There we go.
Yes.
And I want to apologize for one thing. I have a cough that is lingering, so please forgive me. And I hope I'm praying that I don't disturb you with it, but I'm going to do a good job even with a cough. So this training is about how to hire and keep your best employees. And one thing I thought about was, how do you hire and how do you keep an employee? But then I think there's one thing that I love to do, which is training. So I put training, I sneak trainings into your title, and I put it in yellow so that you know that it's an outside word that is entering, the advertised title. So it's just to make it nicer and then to make hiring, training, and keeping the employee blend better. So please forgive me if I'm changing the topic. It's not changed, it's the same thing. I only added the training part so that we can talk about a few of the things that we are doing training. So here, as a business owner, this is my story. Just walk with me on the story. I have an employee that is just going to walk out on me, and I need a replacement. She just told me she has a better place next door and she's leaving. Now I need a cashier ASAP. If I don't have a cashier, I have to be my own cashier or I have to get my senior manager to be. So I get this sign, join our team, now hiring. So this is ABC Corporation trying to find a cashier. Very important, somebody who goes to the bank, somebody who goes to deliver checks to people, suppliers, who is very familiar with all my suppliers and who knows where I do all my business. And she's leaving. Now I have this sign up. Join our team, now hiring. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I want us to come back. And then I want just one person or two to tell me if you were in my situation, or what do you do in your company when you have a situation like that? Just briefly, not a story, but just tell me, what will you do if you were me? So just unmute yourself and just tell us before we continue. I want to hear a little from you. Anybody, it doesn't matter.
Come on, guys. Prince, do you know any one of them you can call out? I see Adam Senaya.
Somebody
the
put,
name.
yeah. So unmute yourself.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so in a situation like that, I think I have kind of faced some of those situations. So what I do is, in the interim, I kind of fill in that shoe until I get a replacement. So on all the employees I have doing different stuff, I try to understand and know how to do a bit of everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
And also in my employment contract, you have to give me a notice, a 1-month notice before you quit.
Okay, so this person is an insubordinate employee, so she's walking out on you. You can't stop it. So, well, thank you, Adam, for your insights. I'm very happy that you chipped in. So, getting the right people in the right job and getting them to stay are your key elements in effective business management. So I'll go back to sharing my screen.
Thank you, Adam.
I think you said you wanted two, or is
yeah,
okay?
A second one is good. Yes, please. I thought it was okay. Yes, please tell me, what would you do?
All right, so my name is Kogi. So what I do in my companies, because I have this issue of talent management. So first of all procedures are documented all the time. And then secondly, everybody knows a little bit of what the other person is doing. So even if you leave immediately, there's not that big gap which is felt too strongly. So there is strong documentation to kind of cater for the talent management. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to Adam, and thank you to you too. Thank you for sharing it. So the ABC, I call something the ABC of our recruiting. So we are all business people, and we heard from our two partners who said, I have good documentation of things I do. The other person says, I know how to do a lot of the things, a lot of the tasks that my employees do. The other person will go to the SOP, the standard operation procedure. The standard operating procedure, and look and see, this is what the cashier does, or this is what the office manager does. The other person says, I have learned a little bit from all my employees, so I know how to do a little bit of everybody's. So they're not kind of alarmed because somebody's going to walk out. I want to tell you today, that is very dangerous. It's dangerous because getting the right people in the right job. So I have highlighted those things, getting the right people in the right job and getting them to stay are the key elements in your effective business organization. So take note, if you don't remember anything, just remember right people, the right job, stay, getting them to stay. And people think, oh, this is easy to get the right person. Oh, this is easy to get them to stay. And so in my story, what I would do is Manager Jerry will just put an ad in the paper and then hope that the good potential somebody will send in their resume. Or I will talk to people in my church, people in my circle of social gathering, and then somebody will introduce a good person to me. That is what I would do if it was. So this is the process. So the business owner's hiring journey is the story I just told you. I just quickly go to the ad agency and put in an ad in the local paper, or I will call my friend on the phone. Asimesi, please, it looks like my star employee is leaving. And then I wait for applications to come in, or I wait for my friend to introduce somebody to me because I believe in that friend and that friend is going to give me a good person. Then I go into the process of interviewing those people. And I know that I'm a very good interviewer, and I know I can tell who is a good person by just looking at their beauty, their weave on, their gentleman's tie, their well-ironed shirt. And then I can just tell that, boom, I hired the best person. So now I'm covered. You can go, go. So now I have somebody, and then everything just moves on. Business is as usual, booming. So as your business is ready to roll, you know that now you have a new person who will cover. And then sometime down the road, this new employee who is supposed to be somebody that you trusted through the interviewing process or trusted your friend to introduce to you, starts having a few problems. Attendance problems, attitude problems, personality conflicts. And this will translate into your business. And I know you all know that. The moment somebody starts having an attitude at work, your day goes down. You are stressed, you are not sure what is going on, you cancel some appointments, the business will be suffering because maybe the supplier came and had a very bad experience with this person. And so, they're going to say, I'm not going to come back, or I'm not going to sell to you, or I'm not going to buy from you, especially a customer experience. And other employees on the team will be suffering because of that person's negative attitude. It's either the person is a team leader and mistreating other people, or the person is refusing to just do the right thing and just trying to cause trouble. Now you, the manager or the management team, you can't keep up. It's just one person turning the whole business upside down. And a lot of us underestimate some of these things because we think that, oh, If you want to go, go. Just walk out now. I'm tired of you. I've had enough. But that employee leaving is left with money. I'm not saying the employee stole your money, but research shows that about 30 to 50% of that employee leaving, listen carefully, 30 to 50% of the leaving employee annual salary is lost when that person leaves. So let's say you pay the person 2,000 cedis a month. So at the end of the year, annual salary is 24,000, just for the sake of mathematics, easy mathematics. So 50% of that is 12,000, okay? And 30% is about 8,000. 8,000 cedis, it's gone. You did not see the money leave physically, but it's affected your bottom line. And these are some of the things that hit your bottom line. And talk about net profit. You're trying to do better. Your accountant is on your neck, you're trying to mind your price, and you're trying to mind your strength, losses. But there are certain losses that you can't see. They're the invisible shrink that's in your company, and HR is one of them. And if you take care of your human resource management part of your business, part of your losses will be recovered. So what went wrong? What went wrong in this new employee that I just hired? With all the bad attitude, with all the personality conflict, my business suffering, I can't keep up. What went wrong? I'm going to stop sharing and I'll come back. I need two people to tell me exactly what went wrong. So we're on a journey. What happened? What went wrong? So let's engage. I like the participatory thing. It doesn't matter. There's no right answer. Let's just chime in. Tell us what you have had similar situations. Tell us what happened.
Lucy's hand.
Okay. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you, Lucy.
Loud and clear.
So I think that maybe we hired the right person for the wrong role, or vice versa. So the right person was put into the wrong role, or the wrong role, like wrong person for the right role. So more or less like putting a square peg in a round hole. And sometimes the expectations of the employees are not met, when they join the team. So those are some of the reasons.
Thank you, Lucy. Excellent.
Powerful,
now, another person. Let's do it. Let's make it interesting. I wish we were in a
had two gentlemen
together.
Yeah, let's have another lady. So 2 boys, 2 girls.
Okay. Because of time, I'll just, you don't want to share your secrets of your business with me, right? Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, are you contributing?
Yes, I think we have someone.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I operate in the money industry.
Okay.
And usually what happens is that in situations like this, the possibility is that at the time the person employed for your job, they had also put in another application somewhere. So it happens that when you think, oh, I have the best person, is rolled in and you are happy rolling with him, then the other jobs also pops up and the condition might be better than what you are providing now, and off he goes.
Oh, wow, that's nice. So this person is not gone. The person is still in your company and is new. I never even thought about it that way. Thank you. That's excellent too. Lucy, I like what you said. Excellent. And thank you for this other contribution. Very good. All right. So what went wrong is what we are after. What went wrong? So the general thing, the general scenario that I just narrated to you is you hired the wrong people. So Lucy, Adam, all these people, all you business people and me gathered here, going through that story, what went wrong? One of them, as Lucy said, we hired the wrong people. The second, so we are only going to touch on, there's so many reasons. Maybe if everybody had to write it on a piece of paper, we'll have like 50. But we want to focus on just a couple of them that are our everyday and general things. You hire the wrong people. The second one is you fail to make human resource management a priority. And you assume that bodies in positions in your company will make your company run right. So this second point is very important. And forget about the big word like human resource. I usually don't like it. But that is the truth of the whole business. You fail to make human resource management a priority and assume that the bodies in position would run the company. What I mean by that is there are certain things that as a business owner, you have to be particular about when it comes to taking care of your employees. They are part of your asset. They are. It's money right there. You hire somebody, that is money. Somebody leaves, that is 30 to 50% of that person's annual income. That is going right out of the door because you have to spend time, downtime, you have to cancel your appointments and stay in the store and do your own thing, or stay in the factory and do your own thing. Or you get your senior manager who should be managing the business to come and be a cashier. So this is what we want to fix. So the problem that we have as business owners is we are not very good at hiring people, and we are not very good at walking through the process to hire the right people and then take care of their whole stay in your company so that they stay. Fact check. There is good news and there's bad news. The good news is if you carefully plan and strategically manage your recruitment, your hiring, and your retention process, it will improve your business outlook. We are in to make money. We are not in to just pay people. They clock in, clock out. They go, they take your money at the end of the month or the week, and then that's it. That's not what we want. But the good news is if we change and carefully plan and strategically manage our recruitment, our hiring, and retention process, we will improve our business successes. But the bad news, which is beyond our control, is human resource management. It's not a science that you can predict. All data scientists like me who play with data can play with the data in your company. Please stay on mute if you are not speaking. Okay, thank you. So the bad news is human resource management is not an exact science because people are unpredictable. I walk into your store right now, I'm talking to you, you don't even know me, but you can hire me today to do the job for you. You even hired me to come and talk to you. But maybe I'm a serial killer. Maybe I'm somebody with a bad attitude. Somebody comes to your interview, they look very beautiful. You are tempted to say, I wish I had this person to be in my front office. Sometimes you're digging into something that you can control in the future. So we can predict people. So what we want to do is to understand the difference between hiring and recruitment. So here, remember I said, if the good news, so we're going to focus on the good news. The bad news is beyond our control. Somebody comes in, even people who marry, after 10 years, they see each other differently. You can't control that. So let's stay on the good news and develop tools that will help us excel in that way so that that excellence or that positive effect will translate into the business to drown any other outliers. I call them outliers because it's not normal. You can control it. So let's get the success to drown the outliers, the exceptions. So I want us to together understand what hiring is and what recruitment is. So I'm going to stop sharing again. I should have asked before, so you saw my slide. Okay, I'm just going to continue. I'll just continue because you've already seen my slide. I wanted to hear what you know.
Maybe.
So hiring is a need fulfillment process. So hiring is different from recruitment, but we use them in the same, in every scenario where somebody will say, oh, I recruited somebody. And then the next minute, the business owner said, yeah, we just hired somebody. So you can use that. They are not interchangeable. They're different. Hiring is a need fulfillment process. And what I mean by that is, I'm hungry. I need a burger. I'm hungry. I need a plate of jollof rice. So as soon as I eat the jollof rice, I'm satisfied. I won't be hungry anymore. That is the end of that process. Your organization needs a new employee. So what we sloppily do is we put the job in an ad like I told we did from the beginning, and then or we tell somebody at church, as soon as see me, I need an employee like ASAP today. And then somebody brings their nephew or niece, or somebody walks in with some kind of resume that upside down, you can't even understand where they worked before. And then because we are in trouble and we are in dire need of a replacement for that employee, we quickly grab that person. And then that is our selected good employee. So that is hiring. It's like a quick fix. So remember this, hiring is a quick fix to your getting employees into your business. Quick fix is hiring. Recruitment is it's a long-term strategy, and that involves you sitting down, planning, and knowing what you need for a particular role. I need a supply, I need a supply analyst, or I need an associate who will take care of my supplier excellence program I've introduced in my company. So you think through what the role is, what your expectations are, what you need the person to be, how successful that program, how you want that program to be successful, and what your outcome of that program is supposed to be. So your expectation comes first and you work backwards. So hiring, I need somebody and I need quick now. But so this one, you are involved in building and sustaining a pool of exceptional candidates. So you get, maybe you have time, so you can gather 10 applications and throw the bad ones out because you are not under any pressure to hire today. You have the time, and then you have the luxury of throwing all 10 applications away and starting over because you haven't found the person who will fill in the role that you're looking for, the star employee you're looking for. So you can have the options in place to place, long before an opening comes up. I know that this woman is pregnant and she's going to go on maternity leave. She'll go maybe the 7th month. So I have 3 more months. You have the luxury to take your time, not to waste time, but this is when you do your recruitment. So when you post an ad, you have been able, so what you do with recruitment is, because you have thought through carefully the role you want to advertise, you have it well written down, the description, the requirement, what will make you happy, what will make you successful, what will make the business run good. So now you put that nicely written job application, job ad in the newspaper or in the local paper. And then people apply. There's a little more time. You keep maybe about a month, you get all these applications in. You sit down with maybe your couple of senior managers or people who are trusted employees of your company who can run the business when you travel. Then you look through and then you discuss. When you discuss, then you bring them in for the job interview. And then the job interview, you are taking your time to select the right people, the questions you are asking, the responses you are getting, the references you're doing. You have the time to do a background check. You have the time to call the other company they walked away from. So you are setting yourself for success. That is what we call recruitment. And this is what will prevent you from losing 30 to 50% of that walking away employee's annual salary. That money, you need to claim it this year. So now we know the difference between hiring and recruitment. Hiring, and then I want to put this out here. Don't think hiring is not good. They all serve their purposes in different lights. Hiring is used for quick fixes. I said that. You're looking for a cashier. You're looking for somebody to do just an associate. If you have a shop, an associate who is just going to be, picking and packing. Those are low-level employees, and those you can afford to do the hiring. But as a strategic person, don't wait to be doing hiring for everyone. If you can come to a point where you can be recruiting for your company or get a recruitment agency, they will walk you through the process. Maybe the first time you don't know it, so you pay them to do it, but you are learning from them, and then you can replicate exactly what they did the next time. Recruitment is used for employees that are in strategic position. Your office manager, your line manager, your accountant, your cashier who goes to the bank with your money. Those are strategic positions, and you have to take your time and hire for those. Any questions? I'll stop here. Do you have any questions? Am I moving too fast, or am I talking too much? I need you to unmute and say something.
This is fantastic. I'm making a lot of notes here.
Yeah, I'm learning so much so far.
Okay, let me know if it's going the wrong way. No. Order here, Geraldine. In my business, I do very well, and I don't do that. Just stop me. I'm learning from you, and you're learning from me. Okay.
Geraldine, I like how you said that hiring is not bad, but it's for a specific purpose. So we don't want you walking away thinking, I am never going to hire again in the life of my business. It will come in when the need arises. You just have to know when. Thank you, Geraldine. That's powerful.
Thank you, Phyllis. She's my #1 cheerleader. Okay, so the next slide. So now I want us to go through some very important 6 essential elements of employee management. So far we know how to put an ad in the paper. We know that somebody is going to apply for it. We know that we have to interview. We know that we have to pick the right person. And we know what happens when the right person is the wrong person. And we know why that person is the wrong person, because we chose the wrong person. And then we know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And that is to strategically do your recruitment, your hiring, and your retention. So now we're going to go through a few things that will help us with our retention. Phyllis, please keep the time for me, okay? And let me know.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, so I want to just give you some key elements. There are 6 of them. And I want us to talk, please. I want us to talk. Let's talk about it, okay? The first one is successful recruitment strategies. This one is key. If you can recruit for your business and not always be on the verge of fire, you will do well. And that is how to find good potential employees. Hiring is an option. It's not bad. It is used in a different scenario or when you have a different problem. but it's not the ultimate fix for a strategic manager that we're trying to build you into. How to find a good potential employees. Hiring and interviewing is the second one. So you see, everything is about how to bring the person. Everything is about bringing the person in, asking the right questions the right way. Listen, a lot of people advertise for positions. People come in, the most beautiful person is the one that gets the job, without even asking the right questions. You have to understand what that role is. The role you are advertising, you need to understand it. You need to know what the expectations are, what the job requirement is. If you can write all those things down and educate yourself from your own writing or your own requirement for the job, you will be able to ask the right questions. Come up with things that will help you. If you are not a hands-on manager and you have people who do the job and you just come and check the bank book and check the balance in the account, and once it's $2 million, you're happy, get your managers to do the right thing. The third one is effective communication, and that is giving and receiving information effectively. I would say that communication is important in our whole life. Effective communication will determine how the environment your employees work in is. How do you define the environment in your company? It boils down to effective communication in that environment. If there is chaos, it's about communication. If there's misunderstanding, it's about communication. If there is disrespect from employee to the manager or manager to, it's about communication. Giving and receiving information effectively. The fourth one is training. That was why I put that little yellow thing up there. Improving employee performance. People walk into your company. They came from another company. The way you do your business, your standard operating procedures are completely different from another company. But then they come in with the basic knowledge. If he's an accountant, he comes in with an accountant basic account receivable and all that. They know it. We get it. But there are certain things in the company, certain processes in the company that a new employee needs to go through orientation to know, needs to go through basic training to know, needs to go through the job training to be able to be comfortable with the processes. And it's very difficult when they put you in a new environment. I have worked in a warehouse before. When you enter the warehouse, even the noise I almost ran out because that is not my comfort zone. I needed extra money. Then gradually, when I got trained, I was like, hey, with all the degrees I have, I can't even pack. I can't even fold a dress and put in an envelope. It was hard. I needed training to even fold a shirt and put in an envelope to put on a conveyor belt. The conveyor belt was even scaring me. So you need to train your employees to improve their performance. The fifth one is motivation, creating job satisfaction. Lucy pointed on that when she answered her question. She said, you didn't create the environment for the person to be successful. That's why they left. Yeah, that is very important. Leadership and team building. That means influencing your employees to work effectively. Sometimes we set people up for failure. You hire an employee and then you say, okay, this is where you're going to work. These are the people. Let me introduce you to your supervisor. And then they call supervisor Kojo Kebra. And then you introduce them and that's it. Then the person is looking around, and because they are not familiar with the people, they feel like, oh, I'm in the wrong place. So what am I going to do? So even the environment, the kind of leadership that you have shown that employee, or the team building effort that you did not put into this process of bringing this new employee in, is going to let this employee just even walk away. People quit jobs the second day not because they are lazy, but they didn't even know what the whole thing was about. So these are 6 things that I want you as strategic leaders of your business to take with you. So we're going to go through them one after the other. But because of time, I won't go through the 6. I'll go through the first 3, which are very key, and sometimes they're tricky. So we will spend a little bit time on communication, because I realize that successful recruiting strategies comes with communication. Hiring and interviewing is about communication. Training is about communication. Motivating is about communication. Leadership and team building is about so I chose communication because it is more, it's all over the place. And if we can knock this communication problem out, I think it will be easy to do the rest. What do you think? Somebody endorse me.
I agree. I agree totally. Communication is, it's the only thing that holds anything together. Professional, personal, private, anywhere, socially. So we're ready for it, Geraldine.
Okay, thank you. So
if I may also back it according to documentation from the, is that okay? Yeah, if I may also back it some documentation from the Project Management Institute. As a project manager, 95% of your work is comprised of communication. So yes, it is. It's true what you're saying.
Yeah. Thank you. I like that. Yeah, project management.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I want us to go through the 3 a little bit, and because you guys don't like me, you're not talking to me. So the kind of things I had planned, we can't do it. So, but at the end, we're going to do it.
Oh no, the things are packed. Though they are power packed, so we are taking notes seriously.
Okay. I hope so. Thank you for that compliment.
I normally don't listen to webinars. I don't join. So this is, if I'm still here up to this point, know that the thing is really powerful. Seriously.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That makes sense.
So we have 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes, Geraldine. Just keeping the time.
Okay. So successful recruitment strategy. So the best, Microsoft, one of the recruiting directors of Microsoft said, the best thing we can do for our competitors is to hire poorly. Think about that. Take 5 seconds to consume that. The best thing we can do for our competitors is to hire poorly. So what do we mean by hiring poorly? What do you mean by hiring poorly? That's what we just went through. You hire poorly, you are always putting off fire, always putting off fire, always. So your whole place becomes a fire brigade. So you come to work, there's something. Tomorrow, there's another. You can't even turn around for 1 hour to go and chill somewhere and eat with your friends, because when you come back, there'll be fire. And then the other thing is your competitor will take advantage of the problems you're having and do better than you. And people think it's not, this is an overstatement. Listen, if you have a competitor 1 mile down your road and you are having employee problems, just take it. They're selling better than you. They are performing better than you. So please think about this statement so that anytime you're having employee problems, remember that your competitor is doing better than you. If you are able to go through the successful recruitment strategies that we talked about, making sure that you are hiring the right person, understanding what the job description is, your requirements are right, you pick the right candidate, you bring the right candidate in and set that right candidate up for success, it will increase your output. Instead of you putting off fires, you'll be managing. It will reduce training time. If you hire the right person, the person sometimes, so this is it. Mr. and Mrs. Edu they started a new business. They are not very familiar with this business, but then they've started a business. So they put an ad in the paper and people came in. This person, and normally when you put an ad in the paper, the requirements are maybe about 10, okay? And you don't have to hit all 10 before you apply for the job. Maybe if you hit the first 5 or 6, you apply for the job. And because you have the basic training from somewhere or the basic knowledge in that industry, you'll be able to train for the others. But what you're looking for every day for Mr. and Mrs. Edu, for new startups, is they don't know anything. They don't have the time also. They are setting up the business. They need somebody who will come in and hit the ground running. You always want somebody who will come in and hit the ground running. I'm not saying don't hire people who are entry level. Yeah, the situations are different. So that's why I use Mr. and Mrs. Edu situation. And for you who is in the money business and the company is not new, you are well settled, you have the time to do your recruitment. When you hire somebody, you can even tell from the person's answers to your questions at the interview that this person, if I put the person through good training, they will excel. Okay, so that candidate will reduce the training time. But then if your friend brings you their niece, brings you his niece who didn't even do well at school, who has an attitude problem, but the uncle just wants her to go and make some money and help the mother, you train that person forever. So those are the things that we are trying to weed out of our business. Reduce training time. And then number 3, it's a better use of managers' training and coaching time. Better use of managers' training and coaching time. So you have to spend so much of your time. So training time is different from the manager's training and coaching time. So you're training somebody on the job, a new employee. They take so much time to get to know, to get it. That's too much. And then you are taking time off your busy schedule to be able to train the person. Or if the person is underperforming, you have a performance review and then you want to coach the person. Now you have to spend a lot of time. People with attitude, you always have to change them. The person works in zone A because she's fighting with people there. You have to move them to zone B. And all that is time you are wasting. You want to avoid that. And please forgive my numerical arrangement. I don't know, technology. And the 4th one, it's not 1, it's 4. It decreases turnover. So garbage in, garbage out, and speed. Garbage in, garbage out fast. So if you bring trash employee in, the trash will walk out quickly. So remember, if you bring an employee in and the employee is walking away, they are walking away with 30 to 50% of the money that you have paid that employee. Do you want that to hit your bottom line? No. So decreased turnover is not good for your business. It's not good for your profit. It's not good for your outlook. Your competitor is doing better than you if you keep having turnover. So in some companies, for them to do a performance appraisal for a manager, they have some metrics. So that if that manager is having a high percentage of turnover, that manager needs to go or needs to be talked to. And then also, if you have good, successful recruitment strategy, it will increase the time to manage. You need time to manage. You need your time to manage. You need people to do their work right. You need the team to move, to excel. You need the team to work right so that you can have your time to to manage. McDonald's has a model. Lunchtime is the busiest time for McDonald's or any fast food industry. What McDonald's has done is when it's 12 or between 11, maybe 10:30 and 1:32, the manager should not be working with the crew, trying to bag things, trying to make customers happy. No, that is a time for you to go and sit in the lobby with a cup of drink and maybe some food and just watch. Watch the service, watch the way your employees work. You need time. So that is the manager's time. That time you are watching and seeing that who is not working right. How is the customer experience? Then you will be taking care of customer complaints in the lobby. So McDonald's is excelling. McDonald's is a fast food company like Burger King in Ghana. And the reason they are excelling is their managers know when to stand out of the queue and manage. And that is what we need to replicate in every industry. It doesn't matter if it's a warehouse or a money place. You need that time to manage so that you will see what is going wrong and what you need to do to improve so that you can scale. Any questions so far? Okay.
So Geraldine, I just have, so my short question is, what you're saying with that last point is, instead of spending time with bad hire or recruitment, the manager should spend time, or the business owner should spend time on the ground, the ground of the business, observing the in and outs of everything that is going on, so that if there's a problem, it's not a shock. You have seen it before, or you saw traits of it. Okay, thank you. That's powerful.
And also, if you have an appointment somewhere to go and meet the bank manager, nothing should prevent you from going to meet the bank manager. Nothing should prevent you from going to do your business as the business owner. Thank you, Felix. So the next one is hiring and interviewing. And a Richard Ivy School of Business professor, Professor John Egger, said, employees who use informal interviews and resumes, that's CVs, to make hiring decisions are taking a gamble. Think about it for 10 seconds. Employers who use informal interviews and resumes to make hiring decisions are taking a gamble. What he's saying is, if you are using unconventional means of hiring your employees, you're gambling your business away. 30 to 50% of your money will leave every 5 minutes. Think about it. So businesses that collapse is not because somebody did not manage the money well, did not manage the business, some of the essential strategies of the business were not taken care of, which is human resource. Research has also shown that most hiring decisions are still based on the following. And I'm Ghanaian, so I know this, and I have a lot of friends who own their business. Warm body. When you are in a panic, employers hire anyone who looks good at the time. So I have 6 people come in or 3 people, and I'm like, when I know of it, let's take this person. It means let's take this person because this person looks neater. The shoes are not crooked. That boy's trousers is well ironed. The other one is crooked. So warm body, that is what we call warm body. You are in a panic. You need somebody. You want to hire somebody real quick. So those are some of the shortfalls of doing the hiring process. You can do it right by talking to them. So when they talk about informal interviews, is you just bring the person to your office and, how is your uncle? How is he? How's your mother? When was the last time you saw your mother? So your mother wants you to come and work. Have you worked before? Okay. Are you sure? Are you going to be able to do it? This is hard work. Can you do it? That is informal interviews. And they come with a resume that says name, address, telephone number, secondary school, like something that is not a real resume. And in future, we will learn, if we ever get a chance to get together again, we will learn how to look through a good interview. There's no time today. I wanted to bring one. Ritual. Traditional methods will suffice regardless of rational evidence that suggests there are better approaches. So let me just break this down. There are so many exotic. Did anybody want to ask a question? Okay. There are so many things that a consultant will tell you, this is the right way to do this. This is how to do a good one. 1 million of them. But at the end of the day, the traditional method works. Remember that. There are so many people who will tell you this is a strategic way. Yes, but if you don't know any better, the regular one, the traditional one works. So hold on to the traditional way of interviewing and looking at resumes. Let it be your ritual. Don't deviate from it. If you don't have the time, postpone the interview and have time to interview. Gut feeling is one of the problems. Managers use their intuition to make hiring decisions. A lot of us think that I can tell a good girl from a bad girl. Or I can tell a woman will say, I can tell a good man from a bad man. So people bring that attitude to work. So they can tell a good employee, no, that is not right. Remember, 30 to 50% of that person's money is going to hit your bottom line. Do not use your intuition to make hiring decisions. Go through the traditional, go through the ritual, and make sure, and remember, it works. The traditional way of interviewing, it works. Whatever you know, it works. The third one is effective communication. And that is, James Hume says, the art of communication is the language of leadership. So it's what this means is the way you do your communication should be the language you speak every day. Your communication, the art of communication, excellent communication should be the language, should be your language, the language of leadership. And a lot of people have issues when it comes to communication. And we all saw from the beginning, it says that communication is everywhere. So we all agreed we will focus on communication. Most of the time, a lot of our employees come in and the way we speak to them will just tell them immediately the environment they're going to work in. And we'll do a couple of examples so that we know exactly what will be good for your environment and what will not be good for your environment. The most obvious times we use supportive communication. And what supportive communication does is it's problem oriented. It solves problems. It's not person oriented. Descriptive and not evaluative. I'll go through that and then I want you to go through these points and you in your own mind, I wanted to ask somebody what you mean by supportive communication, but since you guys don't want to talk, I'm not going to worry about that. So validate rather than invalidate the person. So I think you're getting it and we'll define it in a minute. Specific and not general. It is owned and not disowned. It requires listening, not one-way message delivery. So I want somebody, so just with this, I want somebody to unmute herself or himself and just guess what a supportive communication is. Please. I need just one person.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jasmine. Yes. So based on what I'm seeing, I think supportive communication basically separates the problem from the person. So you address the problem, you tackle the problem and then separate it from the person. So you can really like solve what the issue is and not attack the person per se.
Very good. Thank you. Another idea. Thank you, Jasmine. Any other ideas? One more person. One more person. Okay. Thank you, Jasmine. That was good. A poor manager-employee relationship is what leads to people to look at new jobs. Remember, one of our brothers said at the beginning that the reason somebody left the job is somebody gave a better offer, and so they left. So a poor manager-employee relationship is what leads people to look for new jobs. So how do we stop this cycle? It is called supportive communication. So supportive communication is where the manager communicates accurately and honestly without jeopardizing the interpersonal relationship. The manager communicates accurately and honestly without jeopardizing the interpersonal relationship. And I mean, you deliver the message in a way that is sensitive to the other person's thoughts and feeling. So you are mindful of how that person will react or feel about what you're going to say. That is very important. Positive interpersonal relationships have practical and instrumental value to your business. So if you are communicating positively with the people in your company, remember that it's going to help build a stronger team for you. And what is a strong team going to do for your business? Holds it's like the pillars and work hard, and it will translate into your outcome. Some organizations enjoy higher productivity, faster problem solving, higher quality output. So those are the things that we all want, right? And fewer conflicts. And counterproductive, we don't want counterproductive behavior. That is what supportive communication does for you in your business. It is very relevant, and it's in the company's best interest to have a manager use supportive communication. It's very important because a manager is speaking to employees every day, every time. They're trying to send, go do this for me, go and bring this, bring me that, help this person. The way you speak, or the person does something, why did you do that? I'm fed up with you. I'm sick and tired of you. Remember, how will that person feel? So imagine an employee is late and the employee comes slowly to you. It's a rainy day. They come, they have their bag hanging with very thin, looks like they haven't eaten today. And because they're so late and it's been happening for the last 3-4 days, the moment you see them, I'm tired of you. I've had enough of this. Hurry up and go and clock in and go and start work. Okay. The other one, another manager in another company will say, this has happened over 3 days, and I'm not sure why this is happening, but is there something I need to know about your lateness that you want to tell me? You stop there. What you have done is you have opened up the opportunity for the employee to respond. So when that manager said that, the employee said, manager, I have walked 3 miles in the rain to work. I have no money. We are homeless. Our house burned down last month. So we are sleeping with people. Now we are homeless. And I had to walk in the rain. I haven't had a shower and I haven't had any hot meal. I had to come to work to make money to help my family. How will you feel after hearing that story? Versus the other pest manager never got the opportunity to hear that good story. Is that how you want to run your business? And I know majority of us get frustrated with people being late, people coming in late, and they are sick and tired of it. We get it, yes. But that is not going to help your business. you end up firing that person. And when you fire that person, apart from your business losing 30 to 50% of that person's money, think about what you've done to that person. I'm not going to judge, and I'm not going to say anything about that. It's up to you to, that part is your own reasoning. Think about those things. So supportive communication is relevant for every business. It is relevant and it's in the best interest of your company. So use supportive communication. I'm going to give you a few examples. I'll give you one which is not supportive, one is supportive, so that when you identify them, you will know. And then the most obvious times to use supportive communication is when a manager finds themselves having to coach or to counsel an employee. Like I just said, they are late and they come in. It's a very good tool for you to use. It helps you to have insight into what is going on in your employee's life. And when you have a star employee, sometimes you don't need to ask questions because the person is doing well and the person is comfortable. But the problems you have in the company would be the people who are underperforming. Sometimes it's not about the job. It's not about them. It could be about the job. It could be about their family. And it's up to you. When you start using supportive communication, things will change. So this person who is homeless but walks 3 miles to your company, hasn't had a hot meal, is sleeping outside, and comes in late, what can you do to solve that person's problem? Maybe that's going to be your star employee. You don't need to let them go. You can fix it. You can fix it by giving the person trotro money or bus fare. You can find a way to help that person, maybe extra hours, or wait, somebody will give you a ride, or give somebody a couple of CDs to buy petrol, and then that person will give that person a ride. And that will cost you 2 CDs, 3 CDs. But when that person quits, you're losing money. I'll stop here if you have a question, and then I'll go through the examples. And then any question, I need you to ask me a question. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm not going to continue.
We have a question here, okay. And that was a question I was also going to ask. So you mentioned sticking with the traditional way, yeah, and sticking with it always. And so for me, I want to know what that traditional way is, maybe in a minute or two, if you can tell us what that traditional way is, maybe what are the 4 steps or 3 steps we can go through to actually know that we are on the right path with the traditional way of recruitment.
Okay, good question. Thank you. So I'm not saying you should stick to the traditional way. If you have a consultant or somebody that you're working with who is helping you with your business management, and they come with a strategy for you to do your human resource, listen to the person, because they have very good, they've gone to research and they are coming to help you. Yes, the traditional way, which cuts across all the strategical ones, is you have to be intentional about putting out a job opening out there. You have to be intentional. What I mean by being intentional is you should know and understand the job that you're advertising. So the requirements and then the qualification. If you know it and you understand it, you put it right. And then now your job description is ready. Take it to a place to advertise. Take it to the newspaper or wherever you want. Electronic media is free. Don't go for any expensive media to advertise your openings. Pick some of the good ones, strategic ones, but find a cheaper way. Then when the person applies and comes in, look at the resume before the person walks in, and consider a short list. Make sure that you don't call everybody for the interview, because the beauty of somebody, the bad one, may attract you. Okay, and we went through that already. So be very intentional about your hiring. Interview very well. We went through that so now you have interviewed the person. When you interview, ask the right questions. I'm looking for that place. Ask the right questions. When you ask the right questions, you will get the right answers. And the right questions, I mean, are questions that are in relation to the job and the success of the job. It's a process you're managing. And so when you're hiring somebody, the person should be a fit for that process. Now you have your short list, you've found the person. When the person comes in, the person is going to go through training. You cannot just put the person on the machine to start sewing or on the filler to start filling the bottles. The person needs to go through an orientation. An orientation is a process where you take the person through the company policies, the best way of doing things in this company, the high level of what you do, who are your competitors, what they shouldn't do, and where is the ice water, where can I get ice water, where's the toilet, what is the name of the cleaner, where is the fire exit. Those are things that you do at orientation. And then you give the person to somebody, a buddy, to train. And that person will train the person in a way, a good one, so that you're trying to replicate the good hands you have in your business. And then the training goes on, and training is just a continuous thing. So I hope, did that answer you? So that is just a high level of how you do the traditional.
Okay, so I think Solace Atabra, her question was, please, the traditional method of hiring, is it a ritual set by the company, or there's a standard way of hiring? So I think that the walkthrough you just did should work. Solace, I don't know if that helps. If not,
Did it help you?
You can speak offline.
And remember, hiring is that the quick fix, you do it quickly. But then recruitment is strategically done by being intentional about it. There is no, the ritual, what I mean by ritual is stick to a process of hiring.
Have a process.
Stick to the process. Don't do the shortcut. Don't do the, she's my niece. Well, you can hire your niece. That's really up to you. But what I mean by ritual is the right way of doing it. You know, there's something called best practice.
Oh, please go ahead. No, go ahead.
The best practice, there's something called best practice. The best practice of hiring somebody is to go through the process of hiring or process of recruitment. And that is what I want you to do. Okay, what's the?
So Marion Patrick, hi Marion. Marion is a Konnekt member and an OZE user. So Marion says, when effective communication fails, will it imply that you hired or recruited the wrong staff for the job?
Good question. Not necessarily, because sometimes it could be you who has the problem. That is why, so when you say effective communication, you are convinced that you are communicating effectively. But is that true? So for you, that's why I said you have to honestly, remember what I said was you have to honestly communicate with your employees. It has to be honest. You have to be honest with yourself. What I'm doing, so it's like a mother and a child. The child will always be wrong and the mother will always be right. But is that right? Sometimes it just needs patience. It just needs you looking outside the box of, that's why I use that example of somebody walks in the rain, 3 miles, has been late consistently 3 days, and that person needs to be fired, really. Okay, but what did we do? We used supportive communication. So supportive communication is different from effective. Effective is the end product of supportive communication. I chose supportive communication because it's easier and it relates to a lot of things that happen in our businesses.
Awesome. Thank you, Geraldine. Thank you. And
Did
I
that
think for
answer
me,
the question?
yeah. I'm sure.
Hello.
Okay, hello. Hello,
Hello.
me.
Yeah,
Yes,
we can hear you.
Mariam.
Yes, this phrase that a person walks away with 30 to 50%, I don't want to just assume that I understand it too clearly.
Okay.
Can you please?
I will explain. Thank you for asking. I want you to ask me questions. Now I'm being relevant.
Okay.
So, Mr. Afo, so what I meant by 30 to 50%, so when we talk about research, there are people who research and have data about turnover activities, okay? So when you say 30 to 50%, it means that you spent money to advertise to get that person in, or you took time. So time, you count as a business person, count your time as money, okay? You spend some time to find that person. You spend training hours to get the person from ground zero to where they were doing the job. The person has worked for you, you've paid them, you've created value in their lives. Now you need to capture value from them, and that is to make them work for you to make money too, okay? So that time that you spend to train that person, the time the person stayed with you, and then now the person is leaving. So the person is going to create some vacuum in your business. Now you have to find somebody to cover. So you're taking away from one team to that team to come and cover. Somebody said, I know some of the standard operating procedures, we have them documented, so I will read through it. Now you are supposed to be somewhere transacting business. So that is going to be out. So that time, you, the owner of the business, standing there counting a box of Ghana cedis, is time being wasted. And for every business person, you have to always put value on your time. Put this CD sign on your time. If you do that, you will never waste any time. You will set your team up for success. When you have downtime, that is money. Is like turning on the tap and the money is flowing down the drain. So that is what they mean. So they have done some calculations to say, if you're paying an employee 10 cedis an hour, and the person has a downtime of 100 hours in a month, multiply that, or even in a quarter, multiply that by the money. So when you put all that together, it is money that you're losing. But if they do their work well, or you set them up right, and that person does not walk away for you to go and hire a new person and create downtime and spending other long time doing the wrong thing, then you would be up for success. You'll be using your time to be meeting other, networking with other business people. You'll be transacting that business. You'll be doing customer experience in your shop. You'll be finding suppliers who will give you lower prices. So those are things that a business that runs a business. So somebody who strategically places their employees in a business has a better outlook than somebody who is just hiring in their business. So that is how those calculations translate into 30 to 50%. And when you go back to your offices, sit down and pick a scenario and just try to do a few calculations. You see the money. Did I answer your question?
Yes, yes, very well.
Thank you.
Myron has her hand up. Myron,
go ahead.
Hello, please, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Now, back to the communication issue and hiring, whether you're hiring the right or the wrong person. What I wanted to get was that, sometimes you have your employees come in and they give you all kinds of excuses for not doing certain things right. You try your possible best. Sometimes you even get into their personal life to just find out what is going on. You try to support in one way or the other. But in all that, you still find them repeating the same mistake, going against the policies that you have put in place. They flaunt it all the time. So when it happens repeatedly like this, would you say you probably did not employ the right person because you have tried to explain even to the point of telling them how it affects the business, because you try to speak to them as a team, because whatever you're doing, this is how it's affecting it. When it affects you, this is how the ripple effect goes. This is how it will come back to you yourself. In probably, I would say in a Ghanaian parlance, that in a sisterly manner or something. Okay, I'm a lady, so sisterly manner. So yes, but still, you still keep seeing all these repetitions. It's very difficult to really manage. It can be very difficult. Sometimes you end up flaring up and you want to fire. So
Yes.
where is the problem at this point?
Thank you. Thank you. That's a very good scenario, very good use case. So you realize that it's not all employees that you hire that in that situation that were hired wrong. Maybe when the person came or when he came to the interview, they interviewed very well. And remember the bad news part where I hope you were there at the beginning. I said there's good news, that is when you do it strategically.
Yes,
and the bad news is HR is not a science that is predictable. Okay, you can't predict anybody. So you didn't do the wrong thing. You hired right. Okay, and then you've gone through. I like the fact that you've gone through all the possible steps. There's one thing that a lot of us have not tried, and that is to pull that employee aside and say, what are your strengths? So now you're going to do a strength analysis. Okay, what are your weaknesses? So SWOT analysis on that employee. So you take a piece of paper and do a square, like a piece of paper and do a cross. So 4 quadrants. Yeah. What are their strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats? Okay, so you know what the weakness is, what the person is doing. What are some of the opportunities? Maybe they are not the right fit for that job, that particular role. Maybe there's something else they can do. And when you talk with them through the SWOT analysis, first, write the person up. Write the person up and let them know specifically what they're doing wrong. Document it, okay? And then when you are sitting together, you go through the documentation that was done. Maybe there'll be a couple of them. And you don't want to fire the person. You want to build that person. That is your first option. So you pull the person and go through a performance review kind of strategy with the person. Do a SWOT analysis. Just do it yourself. And so it works. Do the strengths. What are they good in? Maybe they're not bad 100%. So that 1% that they are good in, put it there. So do that strength, weakness, opportunities. What are some of the things that they love to do? Okay, what do you love to do? And where do you want? So there are 2 questions I want you to ask that employee. What do you love to do? And what do you want to be trained in? So they look around, they'll say, maybe you put me on the assembly line, but I want to be in the front smiling at customers. That's what I like. I want to show my beautiful teeth. Okay, consider that. And how can I do it for you? Then you train the person. So it is not you telling them what to do. She's suggesting, okay? She's helping you put her on the path to success through doing the SWOT analysis. So focus on their strengths and opportunities they have and ask them, what do you love to do here? Write it down. What do you enjoy doing? Write it down. Where would you like to be trained? Which parts of this business do you think you like to work at? That way, you are going to put them in a place that they love to be. It could be the front office. It could be the cleaner. Maybe they want to clean. Just clean, or they want to wash their dishes. So instead of you hiring a dishwasher, just hire the person, change the role. So try not to go the anger way and don't be tired of working with these people for your employees. Go through the strategy, do your SWOT analysis, talk to them one-on-one, and then maybe you have to invite somebody who knows them to be involved, and it works.
Thank you so much, Geraldine.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really, this is power-packed. I think the time is too short for this particular session, and I myself want more. I do believe our listeners and viewers on this platform too are very much excited and are looking forward to part 2. So by popular request and thanks to Phyllis and Geraldine, we are going to have a part 2 of this session come next month. And so guys, no worries. I know you want more. So we're definitely going to have more of this session. So please do bring your friends along. I personally have learned a lot about the ABC of recruiting. That is getting the right people in the right job and getting them to stay are the key elements in the effective business management. And so these are the stuff that we need and some of the essential elements of employee management, which today you really dissected the first 3, which is successful recruitment strategies, where you need to get the good potentials into your business, then also hiring and interviewing, asking the right questions, the tough questions when you are getting someone. And I am happy to know the difference of what hiring means and recruiting means, where hiring is a quick fix and recruiting is a long-term, thing that you do for your business, and effective communication. This is excellent. This is excellent. Guys, this is golden, and we hope that you've learned a lot. Do not worry. Keep your questions coming in. We will post them on our next session, and then we'll keep going from there. From the OZE team, Phyllis, Geraldine, we are so much excited to have you here. I know we were supposed to close at 5:30. We've exceeded the time, but this is so good that you had to exceed. Really excited. Do you have any last words for our business owners here?
Yes, I want you to take this home with you and reframe your challenge. This is what I want to, instead of asking, what do I need to do to keep you? Say it this way, what do I need to do to ensure you are happy and engaged by your work? So the answer, the last question I just answered, this is kind of what it is. There's so many things we're doing, and what do I need to do to keep you? That is our traditional way of doing it. I'm tired of you, but say this way, what do I need to do to ensure you are happy and engaged by your work? Take this home and it works. Thank you.
Thank you, Geraldine.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Geraldine.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Great. Yeah. So Felix, if we can get one excellent.
Having feedback from. Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah. So if we can get a last word from you as well.
Yes, of course. I mean, I'm lost for words, and this is me with Geraldine, with our Konnekt community and our clients everywhere, every day. This is the party we have. And I'm glad that OZE brought us today to organize this party. And I know that everybody's excited, and we are also excited about part 2. Dave is on here. I'm excited that he got a good part of this party as well. So guys, you took the notes, go and take action and get ready for more. And I would love to say, Prince, if you would allow me, hello@konnekt.world or 05474055259 if any of these small businesses would like to sit, and get deep into these what's going on in their businesses. It's very important. They need to spend time to talk to people about it, and so that OZE can continue to give them the best, whilst we continue to bring them brain strategies to push things forward. I think you're on mute, Prince.
Yeah, great. So thank you so much, Phyllis. It's really appreciated. So we do have our co-founder and COO also on the call. maybe he would also like to say hi to everybody before we end. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Prince, thanks so much. Wow, I do believe this was one of our at least top 3, maybe top workshops that we've had so far. So huge congratulations and thanks so much to Phyllis and especially Geraldine. The depth of knowledge was great. I had so many questions I wanted to ask, but I left the time for everyone else. So it's been a pleasure, and everyone, please do check out Konnekt. Jose has been working with them very closely, and it's a great organization. And please do check them out. Thanks very much.
Thank you, David. Very nice to meet you.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.